What's up, guys? I'm SlakingRetaliation, and welcome back to another Let's Settle It video. Now, this video, as you can see in the title, it's a very interesting one to do. It's a very interesting Let's Settle It video to do, and it is basically going to be about the greatest ass in Pokemon. And no, not the booty ass, the greatest scumbag in the Pokemon anime. Over the years of Pokemon anime, there has been plenty of people who watched the show and they were just like, what? Why is this guy such a scumbag to this so-and-so or that so-and-so or to this so-and-so? Now, the answer for that is lost in the writings of the Pokemon show, but we can narrow all of the assholes we've seen, or the scumbags we've seen in the Pokemon show, to about 5-6 people. You may not agree with this compiled list, but you would agree to everyone in the compiled list, because overall there's been too many scumbags to count. And so far, I've only watched probably 400 episodes of the anime. I mean, I haven't watched every single episode 3 times, 4 times like you would with Seinfeld or something. But from what I've seen or from what I watched, I can pick these people up pretty easily. Compiled list is of Gary Oak, Ash's rival, Ash's beginning rival. We have Paul from the Sinnoh region. You all know that guy, the biggest fuck to ever fuck the land. Then we have Team Rocket, Jesse, James, Meowth. Pretty much everyone knows who those 3 are because they've been from like episode 3 to like freaking now. Then we have Cassidy and Butch. Sorry, got that name wrong. Those are the compiled people that I have brought out, and I'm going to go to every single person. I'll do Team Rocket as a whole, and when I'm saying Team Rocket, I'm not talking about Giovanni and the organization as a whole. I'm just talking about Meowth, James, and Jesse. Now we're gonna start off with Gary Oak. In season 1, like throughout Kanto, the first Gen 1ers, you know, the first big season for Pokemon, he was an asshole. There is no doubt about that. Gary was a fuck. Over the years though, after the first season, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, as he kept going along, he kept showing up less often. He kept being just that one episode guy that came along, and when each one of these episodes passed by, you look at Gary and you see, oh, he's getting kind of nicer. Gary and Paul share a similar feature. They both fuck up Team Rocket. Now everyone fucks up Team Rocket because they're fucks, but Gary shows more compassion to Pokemon, and he's basically turned into a nice guy from season 2 on. Season 1 though, he would be the #1 asshole forever if he stayed like that. To Ash, cause he's an asshole to Ash. He was basically like the #1 scumbag for a while, but things have changed. And Gary is actually a pretty nice guy right now. I mean, a few years ago when I was watching Pokemon over again, you know, he was the biggest scumbag. There's 3 people who've been around Ash forever. And obviously you know these 3 people. It's James, Jesse, and Meowth. Now, these 3 people are honestly the biggest crooks, the biggest criminals there ever was in the show. But they all share kind of that similar vibe in certain episodes throughout the seasons. They all have a heart. That's basically their tragic flaw for being a criminal. They have a heart. You see some episodes where Team Rocket would have gotten something they wanted, actually they would have finally won, until either they get fucked up, they fuck themselves over, or one of them fucks the other people over. Now James does this a shit ton, and Meowth has done this a shit ton. Jessie, not so much, but you can see she has a heart over her seasons, over her contest battles she entered. She actually likes Pokemon. She actually has something other than just being a criminal. Meowth, just focusing on them right now, Meowth has two big episodes, or two very, very big things for me that makes him not really an asshole, that you can respect him from these episodes. Now when you look at these episodes, one is where he tells his backstory. I don't actually know the exact name of that episode where he tells his backstory. You get the feels, man. You start to feel it in your heart that this guy is actually, like, I like this guy. That this guy's actually a nice guy, just through circumstances over the years, he actually turned into a criminal because he had nothing else to do. Very, very real, like the real world. And the other episode is Time Warp Heals All Wounds. That episode is honestly one of the greatest episodes in the anime, other than the starting 10 episodes in season 1. And great episodes over the years, but Time Warp Heals All Wounds, that is one of the greatest episodes ever. Now, what happens in this episode is basically there is an old lady who loses her husband, and she forgot to tell her husband that she was pregnant with her daughter. And the guy ends up dying a few years later when he goes away in a car accident, and she feels like this guilt eating away at her, and it's like forever in her mind. May and Meowth stumble upon some sort of time machine, you know, Pokemon, so unrealistic. They stumble upon a time machine and they go back in time and actually help the woman out. They actually find a way to delay the train going away from the town so the woman can tell her husband that she's actually pregnant, so the guy can come back to the town. Now this ends up working, and when Meowth and May goes back to present time, they actually see the guy with her now, and they don't remember her at all. There's this whole happy ending, but then Jessie and James are like, yo, we gotta pounce on this shit, we gotta get that Pikachu. And Meowth, he's like, nope, I ain't about that life, and he just walks away. What a freaking nice guy. Happy endings all around. Jessie and James are two completely different characters. James, he has his bottle cap collection, he has his like hobbies that are shown sometimes around the thing that makes him into a nice guy. And Jessie has her contest that she actually likes to be a coordinator. She actually has dreams other than being a criminal. Now when you go to Cassidy and Butch, they're assholes completely. They're assholes to Team Rocket, they're assholes to everyone they meet, and they're assholes to Ash. But the only reason why they're not the number one asshole, the number one scumbag, is because they're never actually shown that much in the anime. They come around like every freaking 100 episodes or something that you see them. Butch, his name's always fucked up, and Cassidy, you know, really, like, you put them up there with Paul, but they're not ever shown. Paul was shown like throughout Diamond and Pearl being an asshole. The next person, everyone knows who this guy is. People have mixed feelings about him. They either say he is a nice guy, they either say he's a badass, or they either say he is a scumbag. Now, only one of this applies to him, and that's the third one, scumbag. Paul is the biggest scumbag there ever was in Pokemon. Paul, as you can see, basically right off the bat, from the beginning of the Sinnoh region, you can for sure say that this guy was an asshole. He released Pokemon, his attitude was terrible, and he just was a big fat dick. Now, Paul has not changed. You can argue that, because in Best Wishes, when the start of Black and White, everyone was like, this is a terrible, terrible season, so I'm not even gonna talk about black and white, because basically that season is just flop, like a Magikarp. So in Sinnoh alone, Paul is hands down the biggest asshole there ever was in the anime. He is the greatest ass in Pokemon. There's no doubt about that. He trumps Gary. This guy freaking catches Pokemon, checks their stats, and releases them. He's like a true competitive Pokemon player. When they don't like something, they either wonder trade it, they release it, that Pokemon rots in some box. Now, I don't say I don't do this, because of course I do, everyone does. But in the show, you're not supposed to do it. It's supposed to be like, once you catch a Pokemon, it's your friend, your partner forever, or until you retire, or until a certain point, or until you put it away in a PC box somewhere, someplace. And that's what makes Paul the #1 greatest ass in Pokemon, or the #1 greatest scumbag in Pokemon, due to the fact of the Sinnoh region. Just that entire season in DP just made people hate him. Even after Best Wishes, trying to make him into a good guy, trying to make him and Ash friends, you still are like, this guy, I remember you, you're an asshole. And once again, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. If you enjoy this kind of Let's Sell It videos that I've uploaded, a couple others, 2 others, you should go check them out, you should like them. And if you want to subscribe to me from these videos, go ahead. These are one of my most edited videos, one of my most thought of videos, and I hope you really enjoy them, because I really enjoy doing them. And peace out.